What's up, guys? It's Vince Take with CB83A coming to you for another quick banger of a show. The Miami Dolphins have a game in approximately, what, 2 hours? Couple of hours. What's going on with you, Glenn? I see you in here, Glenn. Glenn said he got a speeding ticket. Yeah, we're going to talk about the situation, man. As you come in, punch the like button. I just got off the phone with somebody really close to the situation. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to give you guys some information. Um, and just let you know what's going on, man. Honestly, guys, I'm in the airport, right? I'm in the airport. I'm about to fly back home from Los Angeles. I'm in LAX, about to catch a flight from LA back to Orlando. Um, I'm out here for a wedding. Um, we drop the rental car off. I get into the airport. And as I get into the airport, um, I get a text message saying that, Tyreek Hill got arrested outside the stadium, right? Um, so I go to Twitter, check Twitter, and it's everywhere at this point. And I'm going to tell you, there's more than one NFL. I mean, there's more than one Dolphins player that got um, put in handcuffs, got detained. So there's more than one Dolphins player. It wasn't just Tyreek that got detained. It was other people as well, right? Now, I spoke to somebody close to this situation, guys. Do me a favor, punch the like button. S. Harris, I see you. What's good with y'all? AP Ryan's in the building. J. Rose, what's good? How do you get arrested on game day? It's crazy. It's crazy. And honestly, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about how you get arrested on game day. And sometimes, I mean, we gotta keep it real. Cops do mess up, right? Um, Sometimes they don't know who they're dealing with, and they get into situations, it gets heated, and as a result of that, you have a situation like this, right? And I have a feeling that you know there's gonna be some ramifications as a result of this situation, and we're gonna talk about it briefly. Um, not going to, I can't go into too much detail about what happened, but I'm just going to tell you the cops were in the wrong, and we'll discuss kind of how that went down. Shout out to the homie S. Harris in the building, Cat for Life in the building, Daniel Crow. Hey, it's crazy, right? It's crazy you got to deal with this stuff in Miami, um, just hours before the game. Dudes are trying to get into the stadium. Um, Jose, what's good with you? Let's go Niners in here. He's talking reckless. He don't know what's going on. Um, he says, "Stop crying." No, it's not happening. Cap says the football guys do not like ugly. This is what happens when the fan base attacks each other. We pay the price, reputation wise. We have to win today, bro. And I think we're gonna win. I think honestly, guys, I think we go get the dub today. And I think this will be a little extra, fuel on top of the fire to get things going for the Dolphins today. I think this is all we need. I think we needed somebody to shake up something, and as a result of it, we're gonna lot of. Hey, them boys gonna have a season today. So, hey, it might. Hey, we might off today as a result of the situation that happened outside the stadium. Um, Vladimir says, "Yo, CB, who else got arrested? There was two Miami Dolphins players that got detained. Um, I'm told. First of all, I heard it. I heard it was Calais Campbell. The person I spoke to told me a different name, and I don't want to put the name out there, but another player got detained as well, and the player was just coming to check on Tyreek. That's all he was doing. The player was coming to check on Tyreek, see how everything was going, see if he could help somehow, let them know who he was. But that player got detained too and put in cuffs. So not only was it Tyreek, but it was another Dolphins player as well. Um, Season Apple said at least 300 yards for Reek bet on it. They had my dog hemmed up this morning, sitting on the curb, bro. Like, and this is what they do. It's like, come on, like, if this was, I'm telling you guys this, if this was anybody else, outside of Tyreek Hill, that dude would have been in jail today, and he wouldn't have been getting out for a very long time. I'm just telling you like that. If this was anybody outside of Tyreek, that dude in jail today, and he would not be seeing a light of day anytime. Since it's Tyreek Hill, it's a different situation. And that's what you're dealing with when you're dealing with law enforcement and the system. But keep in mind, the guy who so this is how it happens, right? So the players they're driving to the game, right? And they usually, they might kind of ride together in groups, right? Like a caravan almost. And they're trying to get to the stadium, right? Now they may be speeding a little bit, right? They may be speeding a little bit, and sometimes that happens. So, hold on, somebody's talking loud right here. So, sometimes that happens. But you have to know, as cops, as an organization, as law enforcement, you have to know, like, what is going on around the stadium. You got to be aware of who's coming into the stadium. You got to be aware of all of this stuff, right? And that's why law enforcement has to do a better job of understanding what is going on. Now, they may have been speeding a little bit, right? That may have been the case. But players speeding in the stadium to get to the game, oh, like, what are we talking about? People speed every day in Miami, pulled over. Like, people speed every day in Miami, get pulled over. So let's say Tyreek Hill and maybe a couple of other players were driving down to the game trying to get to the stadium. Maybe they're going a little bit fast. He literally got the team right in front of the stadium. Um, and like like you should know who you're dealing with. And this is what happened. The person told me that hey, they just didn't know who they were dealing with. They didn't know who he was, um, and as a result of that, it got out of hand, right? Um, and Dennis Walker says, "How can you say it was the cops in the wrong, but if it was two or anyone else, they would be locked up for a minute? It doesn't make sense." No, I said if it was anybody else, they would the guy would have been locked up and he wouldn't be out because of not knowing who the guy was. So you're you're arresting people, and Jose said you're arresting people that you're supposed to be protecting, and it's for ego. Like if Tyreek might have said something to the guy, he might have been like, "Yo, you know who I am? I'm trying to get into the stadium," and the guy's like, "No, I had." Honestly, the guy had no idea who Tyreek was. He, the cops sometimes don't know. They don't know football. They don't know what's going on. But you're not doing yourself a due diligence if you don't know who like the community is that you're protecting. Like you don't know who the players are on the Miami Dolphins. You don't know who these guys are. Like especially if you're patrolling around the stadium. Like so, what happened was he got pulled over. There must have been a conversation. Conversation flared up. Asked to exit the vehicle. Detained. Sat down. Then I'm hearing that somebody else, another player, came over to check on him. They detained him as well, right? So this is the situation you're dealing with as a result of people not knowing who people are, not understanding what's going on. You should have, and honestly, Glenn, you're right. Give them a ticket and move on. Give them a ticket, keep it moving. Now, I'm sure it wasn't that simple. I don't know, but the cops were definitely wrong in this situation, right? The cop didn't know who he was, got a little bit aggressive, therefore it got out of hand, and that's what happens. And we can expect there to be more to this story as it comes out. Um, and that's the thing. It doesn't matter who it is. If speeding, you give them a ticket and you move on, and that's fine. That's what it should be. But sometimes you see cops that have these egos, and they see somebody driving a nice vehicle and they want to make an example out of it. And that's typically what happens in these situations. But as a result of making an example out of somebody, you're also risking your job, your badge, and stuff like that. You're also putting it on a line because if Tyreek Hill is still upset about the situation, after the game, which he probably will be, he's probably 38 hot right now. He's probably really pissed off, right? So as a result of that, hey, you might lose your badge as a result of what happened today because it didn't need to get to that point. Cops are responsible for de-escalating situations. By detaining him, by putting him in handcuffs for everybody to see, like fans are literally driving by the stadium, like going to tailgate, stuff like that, and they're videotaping Tyreek being arrested, like on the sidewalk. Like, how does that look for him as an NFL player? Good morning, Shake. What's good with you? Good morning. How does it look for him as an NFL player? What does it do for his brand? And that's what I want y'all to understand. People think it's just so cut and dry, but that's like defamation of character. If he's being detained by as a result of something he really didn't do. If he was speeding, you give him a ticket and you move on, you keep it pushing, right? But this is what happens. I'm telling y'all. Kevin Lee says, um, it's not coming up for some reason, Kevin Lee. Some cops should not be cops, and it's pathetic. And I agree with you. And there's a lot of good cops out there. I'm not saying they're all bad cops, but there's some cops that are so into their ego and so into making an example out of people, using their power, that it leads to situations like this. And I've spoken to somebody close to the situation. Um, I've spoken to somebody very close to the situation, and it was a situation where the cops were way out of line, way out of line, right? And guys, we've seen this happen before. This isn't this isn't new to us, right? This isn't new to us. We understand it. We understand the concept of it. We understand what it looks like. We understand the situation and how it may have got out of hand. Um, and as a result of it, we had a player get detained, Tyreek outside the stadium, and honestly, I didn't know if he got arrested and like taken in or what. But just imagine if they don't make that call, and I don't know if it was state troopers or Miami PD or what or the sheriff's department, but if Tyreek gets taken down to the station and he ends up not being able to play and he gets arrested, bro, that is a serious situation. To take a player away from his environment, his job for a day, I mean, honestly, there's not many situations like this. So, like I said, guys, spoken to somebody close to the situation, somebody will be responsible for what happened today, right? Um, you don't you don't do this before a game to an NFL player. How many situations do you see like this? And this is somebody just not knowing what they're doing, when they're doing it, and understanding the ramifications of what goes on when you do something like this. That's how it happens. Um, and it's not about race either. It's about like understanding the situation. Um, and the facts are, the guy didn't know who Tyreek was. He didn't know who Tyreek Hill was. So he had no idea who the guy was, right? And if you're speeding, somebody's speeding, right? Hey, you give them a ticket. Hey, you were speeding. Here's your ticket. Go on about your day, right? Now, as a result of maybe somebody saying something, you know, the ego's flared up. I'll exit the vehicle, put them in cuffs, search it. Maybe they search the vehicle. I don't know. But hey, and Glenn, you're right. They probably will release the body cam footage. They probably are going to have to after this situation. Um, but it doesn't. It, and we're not losing because of this Sunday. I think we're going to go out and play well today as a result of this. I think it maybe lit a fire under some guys and said, you know, they don't respect us enough to even know who we are. Like the fact that these cops don't respect the Miami Dolphins enough to know who they are. Like that's crazy to me. Could y'all imagine like Jimmy Butler getting arrested before a game because he was speeding? I don't know. That's that's crazy. I remember the Doc incident. I remember the little slap upside the head. I remember that. What's up, Bash? What's up, Bash 305? Hey, do me a favor, guys. We got 100 watching right now. Punch the like button. I'm at the airport in LAX. I'll see the planes in the background. I'm in LAX. I'm about to fly back to Orlando. I'm gonna be catching the game on the phone or wherever I can catch it. Um, but like I said, um, so 72 undefeated says, yeah, I'm racist. Stop. Tyreek has a history. We automatically say it's a bad cop. Ignorance. And I'm not saying it's a bad cop. I'm saying it's a cop who didn't know who he was dealing with. He didn't know the ramifications of the situation. If we're just looking at the situation from the outside looking in, it looks like, hey, cop didn't know who he was. Um, as a result of that, he was detained. Tyreek was probably like, "Do you know who I am?" The dude's probably like, "Nah, I don't know who you are. You don't. That don't mean nothing to me. I don't care if you're a Miami Dolphins football player. I mean, we still can arrest you. So you gotta, hey, you still gotta keep that in mind. But and maybe he's not a bad cop. He just doesn't know any better, right? He doesn't know the ramifications of what he's doing. Um, yeah, man, I'm trying to. Hey, I don't. Shout out to my wife for making this trip happen, right? She did a lot of the booking out here. I came out here for a wedding yesterday, so I was out here for a wedding yesterday. My cousin got married. It was nice to see her, get married. And now I'm in the airport, headed back to Orlando to get the kids and then get situated um, before they're back to school tomorrow. So. Um, Kevin Lee says, CB, if you're Mike McDaniel, what do you say to the Hill and the team now, 1 hour to game time? At this point, if I'm Mike McDaniel, I'm like, yo, guys, this is just proof that people don't know who you are and they don't respect you. And you're going to have to demand respect. And demand respect by going out and winning football games. Like, there's no reason at all that a cop should arrest uh, or detain, right? Detain an NFL player outside of the stadium prior to the game. Like if you guys think that should happen because you're speeding, then you're wrong. I'm just gonna be straight up with you. If you think that should happen in any, I don't care what city you're in. I don't care if you're in Jacksonville. I don't care if you're in Miami. If you're coming into your home stadium, right? If there's a Philadelphia Eagles player going into his stadium and he's speeding into the stadium, he should not get detained. He should get a speeding ticket at the most and be let go, but he should not be detained. It just shouldn't happen. And if y'all think that should happen, that just shows that you're ignorant and you don't know much about life and how life works. It's all about who you know. It's all about your status as a human being. Like that all matters when it comes down to it. You may not believe that, but it matters. And the fact that Tyreek Hill got arrested detained outside the stadium. He didn't go to jail, which is great. I mean, we need him on the field more than anything. But Mike McDaniels is definitely going to have a conversation. He's definitely going to have a conversation and be like, yo, guys, you can't have stuff like this happen. I understand we're trying to get to the stadium. Tyreek's also, maybe he got to get there a little bit sooner, so he's not rushing. But you got to understand, two of these guys drive fast vehicles. And when you're driving a fast vehicle like that, you may go a little bit over the speed limit and not even really be thinking about it. You got to understand, like, the speeding limit in front of the stadium is probably very low for a reason because they don't want people getting hurt, getting hit. There's a lot of people walking around. But if you're coming into the stadium a little hot, right? You know, a cop could see that and be like, yo, we need to pull this guy over. But you also got to know, like, when you pull somebody over, like, who you're dealing with, like, what type of person you're dealing with. Because that cop may end up, you know, getting in trouble as a result of the situation, right? And that may be it. And people will say it's about race. Sometimes it is about race, guys. I just want to be completely honest with you. Sometimes it is. I can't lie to y'all and say sometimes it's not about race. It, if Tyreek was um, if Tyreek was, let's say, Braxton Berrios, do you think the situation happens the way it happens? I don't know. But when we look at the history of policing and the history of um, the way they detain people, the way they interact with people, I would say, nah, I don't know what's going on my screen, man. And, um, and context says, I don't know, man. I can't pull up the comment right now. What's going on the screen? Um, guys, we got 100 watching. Like I said, I spoke to somebody close to the situation. They said the cops were dead wrong, right? Um, didn't know who to. Hold on one second. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, if you got my audio. Give me the thumbs up if you got my audio right now. Oh, where's Mike Lowry when you need him? Where's the bad boys when you need him? Hey, Mike Lowry isn't arresting Tyreek Hill. He's not detaining Tyreek Hill in front of the stadium. I can guarantee that. All right, so we good on the audio. I appreciate you, Donald. So yeah, I talked to somebody close to the situation. They said the cops were in the wrong. Um, they said a lot of other stuff too, but that's stuff I cannot say on stream because there's an investigation that will happen. And as a result of that investigation, we'll see how it plays out. But I'm telling you right now that Tyreek Hill wasn't in the wrong. Maybe he was speeding. But when you're speeding, you get a speeding ticket and you live to see another day. You just keep going about your business, right? Um, being detained, put on the sidewalk, kicked, punched, whatever it was. I saw one of the cops like hit him. That's inappropriate. I mean, if he's saying something, hey, please shut your mouth while we figure out what we're gonna do next. But somebody definitely made the call. Um, somebody definitely made the call and said, "Hey, you detained the wrong man today. You got to let him go. He's got to get to work. Let him in the stadium." And honestly, I didn't even know that he was let off um, until I spoke to to the guy in the situation. Um, so yeah, like I said, the cop. Hey guys, don't be in the chat. Like, the trolls will troll. Let them troll. If they feel like, hey, the cop is in the right for detaining Tyreek, but that's fine. That's their opinion. Let people have their opinion. If they feel like, hey, we're making this about race, Let them feel how they want to feel. I didn't make it about race. I made it about a cop who didn't know who he was dealing with, didn't know the situation. As a result of that, it got out of hand. And it shouldn't get out of hand with anybody. No matter who you are, it just shouldn't get out of hand. Um, let me see. So I'm looking forward to the game. I think the Miami Dolphins come out and get a big win today. This is just another situation to deal with, right? More adversity. Might be Daniel's gonna say, "Hey, guys, this is more adversity for us. Um, let's go out here and put on the show for the people. The people are here today uh, in the stadium." And he said people in CB are already saying it's the cops' fault. Yeah, I'm saying from the person I spoke to, it's the cops' fault. That's what I was informed. I heard it's the cops' fault, and that's what I heard. Somebody close to the situation. It's the cops' fault. They're dead ass wrong. Yeah, you damn right I'm saying. I tell them, hey, and if he said that, hey, I trust the person I spoke to. He said it, then he probably meant it. He meant it for sure if he said that. So yeah. Um, Glenn says police have to be smarter than this. Body cam and you have some video and everything nowadays. Yeah, yeah. So there's always somebody videoing. There's always body cam footage. You have to be careful how you go about doing things. You gotta be very cautious as cops. And cops have a tough job. I don't shit on cops because I know they're in a tough position. They're trying to protect and serve, but they're also trying to protect themselves. And sometimes egos flare up. They're still humans. Still humans. So that happens. Um, William Perry was good, what he says. I mean, it's basic human decency to treat people with respect and dignity. Public servants should be held to a higher standard. I agree. I agree. Um, Definitely, I agree with that. Kevin Lee says CB heard the same thing happened at PGA event with Scotty Scheffler went to jail before an event that came back and played. Seems this happens a lot. Yes, because egos flare up, right? Now, I can guarantee you that um, Scotty was not, he was feeling some type of way about what happened because people should know who he is, right? They should know. So, especially people who are working that type of event, who are patrolling the area for that type of event, they should know who these guys are and what they do and uh, like what's going on. Definitely. Um, Samuel Rosa says, CB, what's going on with Tyreek? Tyreek is going to play today. He was detained outside the stadium. He was let go. And now he will be playing in the game. There was another Dolphins player that was detained as well, and cuffs was put on him as well. I don't have the details of who that is. I was told the name, and I didn't recognize the name. So I was like, since I don't recognize the name, I'm not going to put the name out there. I did see something about Calais Campbell being detained too. So I don't know if it was Calais Campbell. I heard that from somebody else, but my source told me that it was a name that I didn't recognize. But they put somebody else in cuffs as well. Um, Jack Ryan says it's Tua's fault. That's what they want to tell you, man. They want to tell you it's Tua's fault, man. Hey, do me a favor, guys. Punch the like button. I really do appreciate the support. I can't wait to get back home so we can talk about the game, watch the game film this week. I'll be going to live at least 2 to 3 times this week just to have some conversations with you. Um, Look at the game film. Get ready for Buffalo. We got a short week, guys. We have a really short week. So we have a Thursday night game next week. It's going to be really a packed week of content, bro. It really is. I gotta see how soon we can get this film, watch it. Dolphins will ball out today. I'm telling you right now. If you got Tyreek in fantasy, definitely want to start that boy. I mean, you're already starting him. but you definitely want to start him. Prescott did get paid. I saw that. Um, hey, so it's picks out. It is Calais. So Calais Campbell got detained also, and Calais was really just coming up to try and help Tyreek in the situation. Um, so not only they got an offensive player and a defensive player. Them boys gonna be on fire today. I'm telling you right now. Calais will be playing with some fire. Tyreek will be playing with some fire, and those units will be playing for each other today, right? And I said this early in the stream. I said, hey, maybe that's what the Miami Dolphins needed was something to kind of shake up the team and let them know, hey, it's us versus the world. It's us versus the world mentality. Um, so we'll see. We'll see. Uh, hey, 55 minutes. 55 minutes till kick. I'm excited. It'll be a good game. Trevor Lawrence and the boys coming down. Hey, the Battle of the Atlantic Ocean, right? Jacksonville's on the Atlantic. The Dolphins are on the Atlantic. Miami is on the Atlantic. Let's go take it. Let's go take it. Um, he says 72. Let 72 do its thing, guys. Don't worry about it. 72 says I want the facts and no one has them. So before we judge, let's get them. That's all. Tyreek has a history and everyone else is taking it side. Honestly, I have some of the facts of what happened. So I'm just telling you, my side of the facts. If you don't want to listen to my side of the facts and you want to wait till they come out, that's fair too. I don't mind that. I'm cool with that. But I do have some facts of what happened because I honestly so when it happened, I wasn't even like I was thinking like, what the fuck is this dude not gonna play today, right? So I sent my guy a text and I said, yo, what's going on? He's like, I was like what's happening, right? And soon as I sent the text, he called me back. He called me like a minute later and was like, yo, cop's wrong. They didn't know who he was, just a bad situation, right? And it happens. It happens. So you can take my facts, or you could say, "Hey, I'm gonna wait till it all comes out." That's fine. That's fine. Um, what did he get detained for? Speeding near the stadium. Um, Big Nick, it was proven he pled guilty to it with his girlfriend. Okay. Feels like everyone else is gaslighting. You've already judged that Tyreek is a victim. Yeah, because I know somebody close to this situation, and that's what their understanding of it was. So I don't think Tyreek Hill is in the wrong in this situation, and the truth will come to light. The truth will come to light for sure. Apparently mouthing off at the cops, but there's footage of cop kicking him and raising him while he was already in handcuffs. That is true. I did see that footage. So kicking somebody when they're in handcuffs, bro, that's just inappropriate. They can't fight back. They can't fight back. Um, 72 and the field said lots of guessing. That's all. CB could be right, but it's secondary information. Right, and that's all it is. It's secondary information. I'm just coming to you telling you what I heard from somebody very close to the situation. So it's definitely secondary information. Um, but I trust him. Um, Kevin Lee says CB, at Miami Jets game in Miami in December. Going to see Johnson and meet up. Hope you Hey, I might try to get out there, man. Yeah, that's gonna be cool. The round table, Richie, Dan, and them boys will be down there. They do a good job. Definitely try to get down and check y'all out. FNP, what's good, my guy? My guy, I appreciate you coming through. Um, my man's Red, White, and Bill says good luck today, CB. I appreciate it. Um, yeah, man, it'll be a good AFC matchup. I think it'll be a hard fought game. We'll do our thing. Um, I expect it to be a good game today. Could we blow them out? We could. Um, could it be a close game? It could. Could we lose? Yeah, it could happen. Anything could happen. Um, but I'm expecting us to go out there and get a win. Um, CB, you had two proven racists in your space, homie. Get your house in order. Hey, I can't. Hey, I'm not responsible for anybody's actions in the chat, baby. Not res- not responsible for it. FMP says they messed up, point blank period, in front of everyone at that. Yeah, that looks bad. It looks really bad. The optics of it look bad, people. And that's what I want you to realize is that the optics of it show that, hey, you don't know who your players are. You don't know what's going on around the stadium. You don't know how guys are coming in to get to work. Like it looks bad. And to detain Calais Campbell and Tyreek before the game, two captains. You detained two captains of the Miami Dolphins hours before the game. How does that look for Miami PD or the sheriff's office, whoever it is, state troopers? How does it look for their office? It looks bad. It looks bad. I'm hearing that Tyreek is playing. Um, Tyreek's playing. Um, Dak just got 244 years, 200. Ooh, that boy got paid. Beer, pizza, and Miami football. CD, let's go. Let's get it. Um, Tyreek is playing. Yep. Um, I expect better detail from the department. How do you not know who Tyreek Hill is? That's crazy to me too. FMP, that's wild to me. How do you not know who Tyreek Hill is? Like, bro, like what? You live in Miami, you work in Miami. You gotta know who these dudes are. Like, if you saw them on the street, you should be able to know who they are. Or your backup should at least know. Somebody should know. Like, somebody should have came up and been like, yeah, he's good, bro. Give him the ticket and let's go. Like, let's not make this into a situation that's gonna look bad on us. And that's what ended up happening. It's gonna look bad on them in the end. I'm telling you right now. Even if Tyreek was speeding and getting mouthy, it's gonna look bad on him. They're gonna ask for badge numbers. They're gonna be they're gonna be checking for what went on. Y'all gotta understand. This can come off as like defamation of character and like really make guys look bad. Really make their brands look bad. And bro, you're a Miami cop. Why would you want Tyreek Hill to look bad? Why would you want the Miami Dolphins to look bad? Like hours before the game, you arrest one of the players. Why would you want that in your city? Like that's what doesn't make sense to me, bro. Like you don't do that. Like you don't try to prove a point in those situations. Hey, get a diet ticket, move on. Hey, it is what it is. You know not to do it next time. Don't be speeding. Like, don't make an example out of a guy. Now you got us all over ESPN. You got Miami, the department you work for, all over ESPN. It just looks bad. That's crazy to me. It looks bad when your own city, your own team, you're arresting players from your own team hours before the game. I don't care what you did, what they did. It's just bad optics for the city. It's bad optics for Miami. It's bad optics for the Dolphins. Like this shouldn't be happening on game day. Season opener. Like come on, man. This doesn't make sense. At 72 undefeated, you can say everything you want to, but you have to agree with me there. It looks bad on all parties. It does. Um, it just looks bad. Kevin Lee says score prediction CBS say 35-21. I'm saying 31-17. 31-17 Dolphins. Let's go. 31-17 Dolphins today. Um, Context says I'm telling you, CD, at least one cop is getting fired or suspended. I don't know. Something's gonna happen. Kevin says, CB, they don't care. That's the answer. That's maybe true too. They don't care about the optics of it. Um, Public opinion matters. They're gonna learn. Yeah, I think people are looking at the situation being like, yo, y'all are tripping. Like, why would y'all do this before the game? Cap says this story is getting nuts. I'm hearing CC. Yes, he was detained. Yep, he was detained as well. Calais Campbell was just trying to come up. I heard this from my guy, is that Calais was just trying to like check on Tyreek and make sure everything was good, and they detained him as well. Um, unless the cops are not from Florida and they transfer over here. Um, the solo do make a song for week one. I'm not sure. Kevin, it looks real bad, CB. Hey, it looks terrible. The optics are terrible. Um, they have more cops with ARs at the stadium than they do protecting the president. This is bound to happen again. Um, Again, you may be right in everything you say, CB. I just want all the facts. The cops are wrong. The cops are wrong and locked them on. Don't be surprised if Miami comes out pissed and lights up Jackson in the first quarter. I wouldn't be surprised either. I think this is going to light a fire. Hey, I'm telling you, this game might light a fire under our guys for the season. And if we come out hot, we jump on them boys quick, it could get ugly. It could get ugly. But it could also be a distraction. But I think our guys are going to come out fired up. We're going to start fast, punch them in the mouth, and end this right away. No, I'm not in the gym, bro. I'm in the airport. I'm in the airport about to fly back to Orlando, man. Man, say you're in the gym. I'm sure the officer's going to say he feared for his life. That's why everyone gets hands. Come on now. Yeah, I could see that happening, but come on, bro. You serious?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Hey, does the Miami Dolphins come out and get this win today?
I hope so.
Okay.
Hey, I really do hope so, man. I appreciate you guys tuning in. We got 100 watching right now. Do your boy a favor, punch the like button. If you want to, be sure to join the members gang. Become a member of the channel. Like, share, and subscribe. Donate if you can. It helps the channel grow. I appreciate you guys coming through. Hey, let's go get this dub today. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. I'm out. It's going to take you CB83. Let's get it. Let's go.